did? Sorry.
This isn't gonna just blow over. The Zerg won't stop until we're all dead.
Vengeance shall be mine.
The 7 evils are one within me. I am Legion.
Stay a while and listen.
To ask why we fight is to ask why leaves fall.
You are not prepared.
Warcraft players, where you at? Starcraft players, where you at? Diablo players, where you at?
Heroes of the Storm is announced, we've got your BlizzCon schedule, and we find out that it can pay to be a jerk. Welcome to BlizzPro's TwizCast.
Disturbing hallucination. You're hearing voices.
Welcome to TwizCast, everyone. We are here to share with you our experiences and news concerning all games under the Blizzard Entertainment logo, ranging from World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, and much more. And if you're curious as to who we are, I will go ahead and bring in the co-hosts. From the great state of North Dakota, the man who helped pass the bill in 1987 that made English the state's official language. It's the Prot Pally extraordinaire, the bearded, and also the birthday boy, Hoda. Hello, sir.
It's my birthday, and I'll cry if I want to,
You
which
didn't
usually
do that.
happens after TwizCast, because you guys are so mean to me, by the way.
Shut up, Hoda.
It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse, dude. So, also from North Dakota, the Southern Belle, who's not afraid to grab you, stab you, tank you, and spank you from her 2-week hiatus. Please help me welcome back the lovely and talented Reb. Hello, dear.
Hello, I'm so glad that you were able to fill my box while I was away, but I'm very happy to be back.
That we did. That we did, and we had a great time doing it. I'm just going to say. So.
That's what I heard.
Also, direct from Las Vegas, Nevada, the man who could put Pawn Stars out of business if he really tried, the demon slaying and Hearthstone junkie, Archon. Good evening, sir.
How's it going? Glad to be here.
Good to have you.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back. Another round.
Thanks.
We got some good
Yeah.
stuff to cover. Good stuff going on. So
Let's go again.
And for those of you who are wondering, my name is Twiz. I'm an altaholic that learned a new profession this week called pea gravel. And I'll tell you all about that later because I know you're just dying to hear about it.
What?
Sounds painful.
It was. It was. You have no clue. You have no clue. So, for those... I actually, all right, no, we're not even going to go there. Not even going to go there. I would like to, as always, give a quick salute to Angry Orc, our resident BlizzPro chat room bouncer. Hello, sir. And just a reminder, everybody, that there's several ways you can get your TwizCast and BlizzPro fix. We're available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and the RSS feed can be found at twizcast.com. The show notes for the episode and everything discussed can also be found at twizcastandblizzpro.com. If you'd like to subscribe to our Twitch TV channel, you can get an email when we go live. That way you'll never forget. So head on over to twitch.tv/twizcast and hit that follow button so you don't miss us. And lastly, for those of you who are interested, feel free to email us, podcast@blizzpro.com. So enough with the not-so-witty banter. We've got a lot of ground to cover this evening and a little time to do it in. So, you know what? Reb, we haven't heard from you in forever. Why don't you tell us what's going on? How are you?
It has been so long, 2 weeks. Okay, let's get started, shall we? When last we left off, I was brushing up on my lore skills. I was reading Thrall, Twilight of the Aspects. And it was amazing. It was so good. It literally took me probably about 5 days to read it. Just like I was blowing through it, 50 pages here, 50 pages there. It was a really good book. And you know, I wasn't so much into lore going into Cataclysm, so I didn't know a whole bunch of the story going on. It wasn't until really like Pandaria came out that I was like, hey, this is really awesome. So I was reading through Thrall, and it really helped explain like the aspects and what they were created for, and just kind of like their history and what they're dealing with, and like their little struggle going up to the ultimate Hour of Twilight battle with Deathwing. And it was super awesome. And if you're really into the Warcraft lore, it was totally worth it. It was a quick read, and Thrall, he's stepped up in my book because I didn't really know Thrall so much. Garrosh has always kind of been my war chief. And
Wow.
Reb.
Wow.
How I kind of viewed him was, Yeah, I mean, he escaped imprisonment, and he led the orcs to Kalimdor, and yeah, that's nice, and he created the Horde, wonderful. But he kind of left us. Well, it kind of explained his reasons for leaving and why he needed to move on, and I totally respect it now, and he's not just a wimp in my book. And it's cool. It's cool. And you also get to learn a little bit about his past as well, which I knew the basic knowledge of it, but it kind of like tweaked a little bit further. But anyway, it's a really cool read. Now, in-game, I did the Underhold all the way up to Nazgrim in LFR. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you about this. So I queued up. I had the day off from work, so I was like, I'm just gonna queue up in the morning time, and we're just gonna spend all day just knocking out all the LFRs and getting some valor, just working on the island, do whatever. I queue up at 9:30 in the morning for this LFR. I think I get in there around like 10:30 or so it took me about an hour in the queue. We did not leave that one LFR. I got it fresh. I had all 3 bosses to go through. We did not leave that LFR until right around 2 p.m. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
If you're not counting, that's what, 3.5 hours?
Oh, a real person would have, well, I guess you're real, technically. But a baller person would have stepped up and raid-led that team to victory. I don't know why you didn't do that.
It was difficult, and I think the reason I couldn't have raid-led Hoda was because my LFR members were constantly leaving, and I think that's what ultimately led so long for us being in LFR. Is like, not only would we have attempts where we would fail, but people would just like up and just leave while we're in queue, and we could not keep a tank to save our lives. We could not keep them. That led to the 4-hour LFR, and it was absolute miserable. And so this week, I was like, you know what? I'm still kind of hurt and scarred, and I'm not going back in there. So I'm going to give it probably a week or 2 more and just let everybody have at it and get familiar with it, and then I'll go back. And we'll be cool and dandy, and I might get gear, and I might finally get daggers and not have to stab things with pencils, one of these days.
No.
And
Oh, I'm sorry. The flex, not the flex. The wing 2 is what you're just describing is still pretty iffy. So I absolutely understand what you're saying right now because people still don't get that mechanics of those fights. So pretty crazy.
Oh, I thought I was in wing 3.
What'd you say? Nazgrim, right? That's wing 2.
Oh, what's the one with the spoils?
That's 3. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
It was that one.
You know
I
what?
thought Nazgrim was the last guy.
Chat room is absolutely
it's
rocking
a whole bunch
it
of
out.
orcs. They're in there.
That's fair. I get it.
I didn't quite brush up on my lore for Siege of Orgrimmar, so sue me.
Pissed.
I'll get on that. I'm working on Vol'jin now, so we'll see. But actually, in game, the only thing that I've really done this week. See, that was my last week, but this week, the only thing that I've really done is got on my alt shaman, and all I did was really change my UI. I downloaded this add-on, LUI, and you've used this before, right, Twiz?
I have. Yep. I just got rid of it too.
It's pretty.
It's pretty. I don't know. Well, we can talk about that later. You like it, huh?
Yes, I love it. And what I was using before was X-Pearl unit frames, and basically that's all I really needed was something to make the frames nice and pretty. I just needed percentages. I needed special ways to represent the cast bars. That's all I was really looking for. And so I downloaded LUI just because I heard pretty good things about it. And it's taken me a little bit every day to kind of get familiar with all of the different things that you can do with it, like customizing your recount a little bit further, customizing chat a little bit further. And I had it designed so that my unit frames for me and my target were a certain way. And it took hours and hours this week. But I think I finally got it to where I can manage it, and I'll learn a little bit here and there, but I am really digging it. So
the thing I didn't like about it was the fact that all the information I had was a little bit different. It didn't, I don't know, it didn't give me the information for the raiding that I wanted. Usually when I'm raid leading, I have information that I can look at, and it's readily accessible to me, and for some reason I just felt when I was using LUI that it was just hidden, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't have access to it when I wanted it, and so it was very aggravating. Sure, it looked beautiful, but I didn't have the information that I needed, and that's when I pulled chocks. So,
see, there was a few things that were just bugging the crap out of me, and the first was not being able to see my experience because I was leveling an alt. And it was just bugging the ever-living bejesus out of me. It's like when I would level, it would be a surprise to me. And I was like, oh, holy crap, 55. Okay, there we go. And so I had to like do a little bit of research to kind of find my way and guide me. And that kind of let me stumble upon further things. But I finally got it where it would show my experience. But it's taken a lot of digging around. And other than that, I mean, what do you expect? It's a complete UI overhaul. It's going to take a lot of work. But I like it. I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was pretty much my lame weekend gaming. How about you, Hoda?
That was pretty lame.
Totally lame. Agreed. Mine has been much more exciting. That includes actually killing bosses, Rib. Just saying.
I
And
killed
it's
bosses
above
in LFR.
So get at me. Yeah, get at me. It's flex, all right? I'm just one tier up, actually. No, it's been actually crazy since we've been 2 weeks away, Twiz, because of your problems.
Sorry, I was peeing gravel.
It's true. Ouch.
Yeah, we don't go there.
No, it's been actually a really, really intense 2 weeks. Mostly flex rating, and the exciting things are, with Twisted Empire, we can like go with flex anytime we want. We can pretty much find everybody. But there's sometimes I log in like at a random time, and I only got maybe a little bit for me. So what I've been going to, and we say this a lot, but man, open raid, you go to like the chat room, and there's just the chat room is just flooded with people looking for, especially since I'm a tank, it's really easy for myself to get into these groups. So, man, I just pop in there. I knew most of the fights from looking for raids. So that's been really accessible, which has been fun. And what was it? I believe it was last Friday. Yeah. Shaw Happiness, if everybody's familiar with that, a Twitter personality in Angry York, we're doing a charity event for able gamers, and I participated in that, and we did a flex raid, the Wing 1, and it was Horde versus Alliance, which is really fun.
Yep.
So the Friday night we did Horde, and it went a little slow, but that's mainly due to the...
You sucking?
No, a little bit, but I'm getting to why we sucked. There's a little bit of too much fun, I think, going on in Mumble Chat there. Little grown-up drinks, and people are kind of out of control. So,
a few cocktails were consumed.
Their way through it. But we finished it. I think it took like 2 hours, which seems a little long, but man, just getting in there with people that have fun personalities and some of your friends, it's a complete blast. For anybody that's scared of doing that or just getting in a random group, I can't say more about how much I love this feature. So go ahead and give it a shot. Do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know what? And just to piggyback on that a little bit, like the whole, I watched the stream. I watched it for almost the entire time. And it wasn't about progression. It was about having fun, and it was about raising money and hanging out in a low-threat environment. And as a matter of fact, that Friday night was the Horde side. Saturday night was the Alliance side. And that was hilarious as well. I mean, it got to the point people were throwing out like donations left and right. She actually, grand total, ended up getting like $1,115 to donate.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. But it was funny because Fugs, okay? Fugs is one of those guys. He is in Twisted Empire, and he is from Australia. And there was at some point in time, I don't know when it was or how it all came up or whatever, but Fugs said, he said the words "thunder from down under," and it's like run through the guild like wildfire, and people can't get enough of it. So I think it was Angry Orc who was like, "Look, Fugs, you give us a thunder from down under, dude. I'm gonna donate $5." Well, as soon as he did that, I mean, boom, I hit record, and that was the end of that. So everybody, here's here's something from Fugs for you.
A bit of the thunder from down under going, eh, gang?
I recorded it, and he hates me for it.
Oh, man. You see him in chat right now?
Is he in chat? I saw him earlier. I don't know if I... Oh, yeah. Oh, there he is. He's saying FML. So, it's all right. Hey, you know what? Seriously.
I can't believe you laid that out for us. Nobody wants to hear us talk anymore. Just send that clip over and over right now.
Bit of the thunder from down under going, eh, gang?
It never gets old. But that's what it was. It was all about having fun. It was flex rating, and donating to a good cause and drinking and hanging out with your friends. It was a party. And so Hoda did a great job on Friday nights, and but I just wanted to really kind of, I don't know, make a big deal out of how cool this was. So hopefully we're going to be able to do it again. And Twisted Empire was very much featured on that for that entire what's the word I'm looking for? Not
charity event.
Charity event. Thank you, Brad. Thank you. Boy.
That's what I'm here for.
Yes. And continuing, like I said, I did a lot of flex, and I upped my game even. Lucian, one of our weekend raid team. I don't know if they have a name. I think they're just called the weekend raid team. Is that right? Anywho, one of their tanks didn't show up, so they asked if I'd step in, and they were like progressed. I think they were on Siegebreaker. One of the last 3 bosses. So I was like, okay, if you guys want maybe a little under-geared tank, I hope you can carry me. So we did some progression on that. And normal 10-man, it's kind of a big deal for me. I haven't raided since early Cataclysm, like actually raided. So this was super fun to come in and, I did okay. I wasn't horrible. But we got that. So that was a progression kill. And I got loot. So
nice.
What up? And then we worked on Paragons for quite a bit. And that's quite the complex fight. It's so that was really good as well. And we didn't get him down, but I believe that weekend raid team went on to get him after a couple weeks. But just getting in there and kind of, I don't know, I almost got the itch to get an actual raid team going again. I don't think I will. I think I'll stick to my flex for a bit, but
yeah, there's some ointment for that itch. Don't worry about it.
Right. Yes, exactly. Other than that, in Warcraft, I did some of the Hearthstone since the wipe. I haven't done much with like arenas or anything. I've just been kind of concentrating on getting all the heroes up to level 10 to get all the basic decks. So not much on that front. Other than that, man, it's been a fun 2 weeks. I don't know what's going on with you, Archon, in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, not too much. I haven't downed any WoW bosses like you guys. Although, did I hear you say you killed Siegebreaker and you're working on Paragon?
Yeah, that team I was with stepping in for was. So that's almost clear.
That's the same thing I'm doing in Diablo. I've been killing Siegebreaker and working on Paragon.
Ooh.
It seems like maybe Blizzard's running out of names here. And I had no idea there was a Siegebreaker in World of Warcraft.
Oh, really?
But,
yeah.
That's hilarious.
And I had no idea there was one in Diablo.
I need to play more WoW.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually thought about playing WoW almost every day this last week. I'm itching to play World of Warcraft. But do you guys ever? I don't know if you guys ever take breaks from WoW, but do you ever get to the point where you're like, you haven't played for a while and you want to get back in, but you just don't know where to start?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, back in the day, like Burning Crusade and Wrath, I threw away this is before you could download everything on, I believe. I bought all the discs, the expansions. I threw them away twice because I'm not playing anymore. I need to quit. Broke the disc. So I bought WoW 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been horrible.
Hey, you know what? I'm currently subbed to the game and I still log in saying, what do I do? So don't sweat it.
I haven't stopped paying the monthly payment. I haven't played for about a year now, and I'm still paying. I'm just like, well, one of these days I'm going to get back into it. No sense canceling it right now. But no, I'm still paying $15 a month for no good reason. But I think I'll be back soon. I'm ready. The break has been long enough, and Diablo's in a bit of a lull.
A little guild called Twisted Dynasty.
Yeah, I think I might join you guys. You might see me soon.
It cures what ails you.
I think I did my charity event on my stream in the last 2 weeks. I can't remember exactly. I think so, and that went pretty well. We ran people through Ubers in exchange for donations to Children's Hospital.
Use the word Ubers.
Ubers, yeah, Uber bosses. Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out what's funny about it too.
Huh?
That's so 2004 Archon, just so you know.
Yeah.
Ubers. No, that's what they're called. That's the only name for them. The Uber bosses in Diablo. Sorry, yeah, we live in different worlds. But anyways, we people donated to Children's Miracle Network hospitals, and in exchange, we rushed them through Ubers, and we probably rushed like 50 plus people through Ubers that day, which doesn't mean a lot, I guess, if you're not familiar with Ubers. But it was pretty successful. We raised, I think, just over $1,100, which I guess about the same that you guys raised. So
Awesome.
2 successful charity events there. And other than that, I haven't been playing a whole lot of Diablo. I'm having trouble getting the motivation to keep playing when Reaper of Souls is on the horizon and it looks so amazing. It's hard to get the motivation. But
Right.
I did build a set for one of the viewers and noticed that the prices on the auction house right now are ridiculously low.
Mm-hmm.
You could get you could put like $2 into the RMAH and just be rocking a crazy killer set. So.
Nice.
Might be a good time to check it out if you haven't played Diablo before and you want an awesome set of gear. It's like cheaper than ever on the auction house.
Word up.
But yeah, I haven't had a lot of motivation for that. I played a bit of Hearthstone. I'm trying to get back up to 3-star Master. I heard you can get to Grandmaster now.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot how long it takes. I'm only in Diamond and I feel like I've played forever.
Right. That wipe hurt, man. It hurt.
Yeah.
What deck are you rocking, or what do you play primarily?
I'm going almost nothing but Mage right now.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I really like Mage. The thing is, like, I was doing 3-star Master with the Mage deck for a while, and I was killing it. Probably between 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 of the matches I was winning, and I felt really good about this Mage deck. And so when the wipe came, I'm like, I'm just gonna recreate the Mage deck and rock it. But
right.
I do just as well or a little bit worse in like the lower leagues with the same deck. And the conclusion I've come to
there kicking your butt.
Right.
the conclusion I've come to is on the lower leagues, everyone just goes really creature heavy. They all just put out a lot of minions.
Right.
And so to combat that, the experienced players just make decks that are really good at killing minions. So when you get to like the higher end leagues, like in Masters, there's almost no decks that are minion heavy.
Sure.
Because people know they're going to get wiped. So then my deck just sucks at minion heavy decks. So now I'm getting wrecked. And I guess I think a lot of us Hearthstone players really want to find that one deck that just rocks all the other decks.
The one that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just constantly reminded that you can't make one deck that's good against all the decks.
Sure.
One deck to rule them all.
That was good, Reb. That was good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, regardless of how good your deck is, you're going to get owned by even a noob deck if it's a counter to your deck, is the conclusion I've come to. So I guess I have to start working on a couple different decks so I can adjust to different deck types. That's about it I've been working on. What about you, Twiz? How was your week, or your 2 weeks?
You know what? Yeah, my 2 weeks, right. You know what? A couple of things really quick. I want to talk about my gaming, but I want to make just a couple of quick announcements. First off, I'm sorry, everybody, that we didn't have a show last week. Literally woke up at 3 o'clock Thursday morning, and I had kidney stones, and the first time I've ever had it in my life. And I'm not going to get way in detail with this, but worst experience in my life. Had surgery, everything the same day. It was like, what the crap just happened? But they gave me really, really awesome painkillers. And I got to take a trip and never left home. So that was good. Really quick, though. So, again, that's why I'm sorry about last week. Missed it. Yeah. So, but really quick, I want to mention, everybody, we are giving away 1 year of WoW game time. Okay? It's on the front page of TwizCast.com how to do it. It's really easy. All you got to do is use the word TwizCast creatively, take a picture of it, send it in. And on October 31st, we're going to go through the winner. The winner and it could be anything from drawing it on your toddler shirt to carving pumpkin to whatever. I've seen people, they put little things on mailboxes or whatever, We don't want anything destructive, anything that's going to bring the cops or anything like that, just no harm, no foul, creative use of the word TwizCast. Take a picture, send it in. And it's for a year of WoW game time, $180. I'm just giving you $180 for being creative for 5 minutes. So make sure you're checking that out. Again, the details are on the front page of TwizCast.com. Really quick, guys, I mean, BlizzCon is rapidly approaching. We're like weeks away.
Crazy.
Mere weeks. In Twisted Empire, Lore Master Tappa and that's at Loremaster Tappa on Twitter. She has put together, and I will link this in the show notes as well. She has put together Twisted Con. And Twisted Con is for everybody who isn't watching it on DirecTV and can't attend the event or whatever. She has put together a full-scale event of awesomeness for Twisted Empire, Twisted Dynasty, and Twisted Kingdom. She's going to have Twitter lore contests, races, scavenger hunts, timed dungeon runs, naked PvP. Prizes include rare pets, WoW game time cards, TCG mounts, and a ton more. So
this is amazing. I almost want to stay home, but not.
It's awesome. She's
If
put
naked PvP doesn't pique your interest,
I know.
I mean, you have no soul.
That's true. It's true. That's what I've said that I've said that my whole life. So,
You know.
but no, but it's going to be a really great event. So make sure that you hit up at Loremaster Tappa if you want to be involved with this and get into Twisted Empire. Also on the Twisted Empire website, twistedempire.engine, enjin.com, there's a new PvP section for the forums. We have gotten to the point where there is a huge need for PvP, and so we've added that to the forums. You guys can get together, form arena teams, do BG, schedule however you want to do it, and it's there for you. And that seems to be taking off. So very excited for that. Fugs, brought him up a little bit earlier.
A bit of the thunder from down under going, eh, gang?
He just got promoted to officer in Twisted Empire, so so congrats to you, Mr. Fugs. That's right. You get the big salute here. Let's see here. I have hopped on the Hearthstone bandwagon, I'm in full swing Hearthstone. I realized seriously that my judgment in playing the game and what cards I choose and stuff like that was good. I have sound judgment when playing the game. It's building a deck around a strategy that I absolutely suck at. I mean,
it's always better to copy.
And that's exactly what I did. And actually, Eldorian he's the creator of BlizzPro. He sent me an email and he's like, "Dude, try this warrior deck." And so I took this warrior deck, and I'm actually I'm contemplating putting together a video that puts together all the cards and tells you what you're doing, why you're doing them, and then playing a match. But I've had really, really good luck with it, and the whole premise of it is basically damaging your own minions to buff them. And I'm telling you what, by the time you get to turn 5, turn 6, you can get a couple of minions out there that you start injuring them, you start buffing them, and then you can buff them all again. And you'll do 14 points of damage in one turn, without even blinking.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, and there's a lot of single target destruction. It's like, oh, you played this big, you played this card with 7 attack and 6 health and taunt, and boom, I just blew that out of the water with one card. I mean, there's so much in this deck. I don't want to give away too much of the secrets because I really want to put a nice video together for everybody. So I probably will do that. What's that?
Is that one of those builds that you kind of take your time and then all of a sudden you're like, boom, all this damage at one time?
Yeah. It's all about you do a really good job at keeping their minions under control, and you more want to go for the throat than anything. If they have a minion out there that's going to do 4 damage to me and it's got 3 health or whatever, I'm probably going to ignore it because I know in about a turn or two I want to be able to put 2 or 3 more minions out of them and rail them for 18 damage. I mean, so whatever, you can keep your little guy out there. Or if I just happen to get the right draw or whatever, I might silence him or just take him out with a one shot. So, yeah, that's. But I'm really excited about that. The other thing that I'm doing is playing a hunter deck, and Kilroy at Kilroy KT on Twitter, he turned me on to this deck. It's the one that he uses, and it's all about generating beasts, buffing them, and I'm telling you what, I think Snake Trap is just ridiculously overpowered. Snake Trap, when somebody attacks, I can't remember if it's one of your minions or you.
One of your minions.
Is it? Okay, one of your minions. It summons 3 snakes and 3 beast minions, and then you have other cards that will buff them, and it's like you'll load up the board with minions within like a turn and a half. and then you buff them all, and it's good night. So I'm enjoying Hearthstone a lot more now that I realize like more of the strategy behind the deck building, more of the, this is what I'm ultimately trying to do. But you know what? At the end of the day, sometimes you get the cards you need, and sometimes you just don't. I mean, that's just the RNG. That's just the law of it. It's like I have several cards that I want to work in conjunction with one another, and I just don't get, 2 of the 3 that I need. Or I don't, I get 2 of the 3, but I need the one to buff them all. And so that's just the way of it.
I found myself always like waiting till I got all the cards so I could get that awesome combo, and I've come to the conclusion it's almost never worth it.
Yeah.
It's like by then you have like 4 health.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit you for 12 damage, but you've worn me out this entire time. So.
Yeah. But now, are you guys, Twisted Archon, are you guys doing arenas? Or are you guys just doing the play match most of the time?
I'm just doing the play match most of the time.
I mean, just constructed. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Yep. Nothing too in depth.
Webs.
What? Oh, is the chat room calling me wimps?
Arena probably is like a better way to learn. I really enjoy like working on a deck.
TJV177
like
says
rated arena. Sorry, what do you say?
TJV177 says Snake Trap is good, but it's also very predictable. I will give you that, but at the same time, predictable or not, you can't stop it. The only way you can stop it is if you have good RNG and you have the cards to stop it. Otherwise, get ready for 3 buffed beasts coming out. It's
basically it's the Miley Cyrus of Hearthstone.
Kind of.
Can't stop it.
Yep, exactly. Can't stop it. So,
especially if you got those buzzards and those hyenas out there, it's unstoppable.
I use the Imperial Cobra.
Emperor Cobra.
Emperor Cobra. Yeah, where no matter what your minion is, if you attack it, you die. And that's nice. A beast. And I use Release the Hounds. Is that what it's called? I think I can see the card in my head.
Unleash the Hounds.
Yep, Unleash the Hounds. That's it.
Or I thought it was Who Let the Dogs Out. So.
No, that's right.
Grab kind of an awful reference. I needed to put one in.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And Miley Cyrus.
Yes.
Okay.
We're covering it all here on Twizcast. But no, I mean just those. Every time your buzzard, every time you lay it down, every time you lay a beast down, you draw a card. And that's kind of how this deck functions as well, is you have a bunch of ways of bringing cards into your hand. So I really like the way it flows. It seems to me, though, the experience that I've had with this deck, and I'll build a video for this, too, if you guys want. Just keep an eye out on Twizcast.com or Twitter or whatever. I'll throw it up there. But the thing that it seems to me is it's like you either my luck has been you either get all of the cards you need or you don't get any of them. I mean, it's like I either get stomped or I just completely destroy people. So I don't know. It's very up in the air right now. So, anyways, what else did I do? You know what? I broke ZA last week trying to get a bear mount. First time I've ever tried to go for the Amani Warbear. And, I was with, Fugs, believe it or not.
A bit of the thunder from down under going, eh, gang?
And I was with Fugs, and it was 2 other people, and I'm so sorry, guys, I can't remember who on the fly. But anyways, we went through, and we were just smoking it, and we got to the room, we killed the boss, and everybody could loot the bear except for me.
Why?
I don't know. No. We reloaded the UI and blah, 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 and everybody's like, oh, put in a ticket, and it's like... It took me like 8 minutes to go through here and get this anyways. I'll do it again some other time, but it was like, go figure. But
now, are you sure you don't have it already, or you couldn't loot it?
I'm positive. I've never had that bear drop in my life, and I consciously
better double check.
Yeah, I know you. But honestly, that whole experience, though, it was one of the best things that could have happened to me, and I'll explain why. I went to Silvermoon, okay, and as always, it was completely empty, but I realized that this is the city that really made me fall in love with WoW. Actually, the entire starting zone, leveling through Ghostlands, just all of it. So I decided that I'm going to go old school for a little while, and I created a Blood Elf Hunter. And Male
or female?
Male. What does it matter? Oh. They both look the same.
Yeah. Fair.
I turned up the music in my headset and I just listened to the cello and I just let it take me back to like 5 years ago when I first started playing this game. And I have to say, honestly, I like all joking aside, it was really refreshing. And I remember the architecture and the sounds and the springpaw cubs and the mana worms, everything I've never had. I mean, everything was just amazing. I've never had a hunter. So I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like the game is such a rush to end game. You know what I mean? It's all about eye levels and grinding valor and LFRs and 10-mans and flex rating. And I've forgotten what's made me like the game. So like I said, if you're listening to this and you're kind of burnt out on WoW or starting to get burnt out, I highly recommend that you do the same thing. Get out of Mumble or Vent or whatever you use. Turn off guild chat. Whatever made you fall in love with the game, go back and do it again by yourself. Take the time to just breathe it all in, and I promise it's going to be one of the best experiences that you guys ever had. I
am really impressed that coming from you also that hates leveling, you like smelling the roses, as it were. I am super impressed, Twiz. Respect,
Thank you.
bro.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just all about the surroundings, man. And like I said, that ZA, it was a total failure, but it made me run because I'm too stupid. I didn't fly from Silver Moon to ZA. I ran. And so I didn't run. I had a mount. So as I'm riding my mount.
Oh, like I imagine him like RP running.
Yeah, right. No, I RP walked all the way from Silver Moon down through the Ghostlands into ZA. No. But no, just running through there. And it was like, I remembered 5 years ago. It was like, wow, I played this all the time and I loved it. And this is crazy. And that's, it just got me started again. It was like, I want to experience this again. And I don't know. I can't put it into words. It is what it is. It's a weird thing, but, I just kind of want to throw that out there. How, do you guys have any starting zone areas like that, or what would you guys do? What made you fall in love with WoW, Reb? Or I don't fall in love sounds really stupid, but what intrigued you to pursue this game?
Oddly enough, we've talked about why I got addicted, and it was the world being so big, and just you could explore and walk around. And oddly enough, my favorite zone we're actually going to talk about a little bit later in one of our emails. And as I was reading the email before the show, you guys, I can't wait for this email, I was remembering along with the person who wrote it, and it like took me down memory lane. I was like, holy crap, that's why I loved it. And I'll give you a hint. It's one of the Alliance lower level starting areas. It's a little bit darker. And we'll hear more about that later. But honestly, that was my favorite part of it, was exploring the big world. It wasn't questing, killing stuff, trying to get new gear. It was exploring and the music, pretty much.
Cool. How about you, Hoda?
No, I absolutely am going to copy Reb's answer because that was awesome. It really was the same. It was like exactly what you were saying. Also, getting lost in this enormous world where in other games I've played previous is where you'd find like the cutoff and you'd like hit a wall. Oh, I can't go there anymore. I'll explore over here. Sure. Oh, there's a cutoff. And it was a lot of that and the really noob feeling where people were talking in chat and I had no idea what any
how
of
to
these
talk
terms
to
meant.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, hey, man.
Yeah, but you know what?
Like,
that's
can I
just
group?
it. When you're first starting out, you don't know what a guild is. I didn't know. I didn't know what a guild was. I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like somebody ran by me. I remember this. I started a night elf right away. I'm sorry. I know I did. So I saw somebody run by me and I was like, man, that's a sweet guild name. And I was like, can I be in your guild? Because I finally figured it out after a while. And they're like asked me for like all these qualifications. I'm like, what are you talking about right now?
Oh, okay. All right. Hang on. Epic chat room response. Moose1892 says, I had a tabletop Dungeon and Dragon game in 1994 while I listened to Weezer in high school. WoW was just a natural progression for me.
It was just this next step.
That was awesome.
I guess I kind of went from Dungeons and Dragons to World of Warcraft. I was a bit of a super nerd.
Really?
Yeah, but I
Don't worry, you still are. It's fine.
No, yeah. Thanks. That was comforting. No, it's probably true. I think the thing that I missed the most is just not caring about how efficient I was being.
Oh, yeah.
But just just enjoying, like, whatever I felt like doing, that's what I was going to do. Like, if I was in Stormwind and I just felt like walking around Ironforge, and so I just take the tram over, like, that was what I enjoyed doing, just not caring about how fast I was leveling or what my goal was. But if I had to pick one zone that I missed the most, it'd probably be Stranglethorn Vale.
Cool. Good deal.
Yeah.
That's, you know what, that's good.
Stranglethorn.
That is good. That's legit. That is legit. So, Well, everybody, we are going to take our very first short break. It's literally going to be about a minute long, and we'll be right back with the news after this. So make sure you tell a friend that you are listening to episode 70 of Twizcast. Today, we salute you, Mr. 3 frames per second man.
Mr. 3 frames per second, man.
You dare dream of a world where the fire animation is something you can easily walk out of.
Get out of the fire.
You boldly embark on quests that take 4 times as long.
I don't know if I'm still in combat.
And one day, you'll actually be able to see your bobber dip when you fish.
I don't know if I should click now.
And Moonguard will no longer kick you due to FPS problems.
Mail not up looking for fun.
So here's to you, Mr. Sultan of Suck. DoghouseSystems.com can build you a rig and put you back in the game with the rest of us. You deserve it, your raid team and arena team deserve it, and so do the rest of us.
Mr. 3 frames per second, man.
Go to DoghouseSystems.com and use the coupon code TWIZ at checkout to double your memory. Twizcast would also like to remind you to game responsibly.
This is Greg Street, a.k.a. Ghost Crawler, and you are listening to Twizcast.
What do you think? I like turtles. All right.
He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me.
The news.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay, the Blizz Pro News is sponsored in part by AskMrRobot.com. If you want to push your character to his or her fullest potential, Ask Mr. Robot will make sure that your gear is set up to do it. As always, everybody, we're going to bring you up to speed. Oh, I'm so excited to get into this. Bring you up to speed on some of the articles you may have missed out on BlizzPro.com. Okay, we don't cover all the articles or just the ones that we think are cool. When it comes to the news on what's happening in the community, BlizzPro.com has something about it as soon as it happens. So make sure that you're heading over to that website and check out the vast amount of articles that we did not have time to cover on the show. So, first and foremost, right out of the hole, Heroes of the Storm has been announced.
Called it.
I called it.
And it's not a book.
It's a book. It's a very interactive book.
A book about this?
It's a very interactive book.
Did we even joke about it being Blizzard All-Stars? Sorry, maybe I'm taking your thunder. I didn't mean to.
No, actually, Hoda did call it. He did. He was like, I think they renamed it, and we're like, get right out of here. Get out. Go away.
It's really because that was the only option left, and I didn't want to copy you guys. It's a book.
Right, yeah. And here's Twiz. Oh, I think it's a book. Not so much on that one. So, earlier today, Blizzard released a video that was slightly under 2 minutes long that was a cartoon of an orc standing outside of a summoning stone and is suddenly attacked by several different characters. The sign he placed into the ground said Blizzard All-Stars, but it was quickly demolished and the words Heroes of the Storm erupted from the summoning stone behind it. BlizzPro's original prediction when Heroes of the Storm was trademarked was that it was renaming of Blizzard All-Stars. So let's talk just a little bit about what to expect from this game. Okay, first off, it's a MOBA, and it will contain a lot of PvP using a lot of characters that you've grown to love throughout the other Blizzard games. It will likely be very similar to like League of Legends, but Blizzard has a way of putting their own spin on things to make them unique and awesome, like Hearthstone, for example. Archon, what do you think about this?
I think this is really cool. I just want to mention the video that Blizzard put out was made by Carbot. They make those StarCraft shorts. I thought that was interesting.
Is that
they
who
must
does that?
have like collaborated with them. Yeah, it's like a third party that makes their own little StarCraft cartoons.
Oh.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting. Not sure how that happened, but I think it's really cool that Blizzard's making a MOBA, but it has to feel weird from Blizzard's point of view, right? Because MOBAs, the whole genre started from StarCraft and Warcraft 3 use map settings games, custom games. Defense of the Ancients was originally Warcraft 3 mod, and then that went on to become League of Legends, and then Dota 2 split off from there. But it must feel weird as Blizzard having this genre be born in one of your games and then have to compete with the people who made the mod for your game.
Right, not being kings out of the gate sort of thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. So from my point of view, it seems like it's going to be really hard to compete with League of Legends, but I doubt Blizzard would even release a game if they didn't think it was likely they could be number one in the genre. So I wonder, they must have some big features that other MOBAs don't have that they're ready to announce, because there has to be some reason why they think they could beat out League of Legends.
Yeah, and it's going to have to be a little bit more than you get to play a character that you've known for, you get to play Tyrael or whoever, it's got to be more than just a named character that you get to play or something like that. Like, it's just going to have to be more. I don't know how you're going to do it, because I think of League of Legends. You know what I mean? I think about what the game looks like and what they're doing. It actually looks a lot like WoW, which is kind of what turned me onto it originally, and I never ended up picking it up. But I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do. They have that magic, though. They'll do it.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Reb?
Wasn't there some screenshots over at like a wiki or something like that? I think one of the BlizzPro articles had it up of the gameplay, or not? Was I mistaken? So. Did I see something else?
You might.
I'm not supposed to see.
I didn't see it.
We stay away from those websites.
Yeah. We only go
I haven't been able to find anything on it.
Yeah, we only go to BlizzPro.com because it's all we need, Hoda.
What did I say? What did I say?
I don't know. I don't know.
Man, I don't even know what's happening right now.
Looking for old playing with males.
Man.
Yes.
Is what I heard you say. But no, what I thought of this first let me say, watching this, it's less than 2 minutes long. Watching this video, it was absolutely adorable. It had like a sense of humor, and yet it had these characters that I were familiar with. It was kind of odd seeing an orc and a demon hunter side by side. I'm not gonna lie, it just kind of threw me off for a second there, because I know it's a Blizzard universe, but I kind of disassociate them, and they're their own individual universes to me. And I think when we actually get in Heroes of the Storm and we're actually in our MOBA setting and we have orcs and demon hunters and all this crazy stuff going around Zerg, it's going to be kind of surreal at first and be like, holy crap, what's going on here? But I'm so looking forward to it. I love League of Legends. The only thing is that I have a complaint with is, yes, it kind of does have like kind of cartoony graphics and very vibrant graphics, but I wouldn't say that they're clean and pristine and beautiful. And I'm really hoping that with Heroes of the Storm, it's going to come in and say, hey, this is clean, pristine, this is beautiful, there's crisp lines, there's no crazy boxing of the graphics. Do you guys know what I'm talking about in League of Legends? It's kind of not as clear as I would like. And I'm really hoping that, the gameplay can be similar. It doesn't have to have any special gimmicks or anything like that, but I just want it to be clean and beautiful and not glitchy whatsoever, and that's what I'm anticipating and looking forward to.
Chat room wants to know if it's going to dethrone Dota 2, which I think that's a legitimate question. That's a legitimate question to be asked right now. I mean,
Dota 2 is so established, though.
Oh, and League of Legends is bigger than Dota, so
yeah, a lot bigger. Yeah.
I mean, who knows what it's going to do? I think it's going to get a lot of attention right off the bat because it's a Blizzard game. But I don't know. I don't really think that there's a way for things to dethrone things. It's like either you got your diehards and then you've got people. I mean, I don't know. People just kind of go all over. There's no way that even Blizzard or even this is going to come out and League of Legends, is just going to die off and become nothing because everybody went to this. It's not going to happen that way. So.
And to speak at you for a second, Twiz, you were talking about how the characters are not going to make the game, and they're obviously not. The graphics, crisp gameplay, everything like that is all involved. But I think these being iconic characters from all the Blizzard games is really one of its strong points as well, because in League of Legends, that's really how they make their money. They come out with a new kind of BA-looking character, and people want to get that because it looks cool. Sure. So I kind of think that's his upside, too, as well.
Is that you're so like familiar and drawn to a certain type of character? You're like, oh, holy crap! I have to get a skin for that champion.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No. Wow.
That makes sense.
Sinstry
I feel
says.
like-
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I feel like if Blizzard can usurp League of Legends, if they can become the number one MOBA, it would be through appealing to non-MOBA players. Like, it seems like that's what Blizzard does best, is they take genres that are fairly popular and then they make them more appealing to casual gamers, or easier to get into if you're new to the genre.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is right.
Because League of Legends is very intimidating to get in there, because you're going to get screamed and cursed at no matter what.
Right.
And maybe they'll take the Hearthstone option and make it so you can't chat.
Dude,
Make
I
it
was
emotes only.
thinking about that. It's like, I want to play this, but I've heard about the League of Legends community, and holy cow, like, no thank you. You know, you
I
get
would
in
say
there.
it's probably like 10 times more vulgar than LFR.
Oh, see,
I would venture to say that.
no thank you. No thank you.
Yeah. Seems like
So-
because your victory is so dependent on your teammates, it's very
Yeah.
easy to say, like, I played great, I'm going to blame all my misfortune on my teammates, and now rage at them for 3 hours.
Oh, well, we will have more. You had better believe that more is going to come down the pipe on this. And stay tuned to blizzpro.com and Twizcast. When there's more pictures and videos and information that's out, you better believe we're going to cover it on that week's show. So, the next thing that I want to talk about, not so much big, huge news, okay? But I wanted to throw my 2 cents in here, okay? Bear with me, I'm going to rant just a little bit, because this kind of sets me off, okay? Thermal Take, TT Esports. They added Greg Idra Fields, okay? About 6 months ago, they added them as a sponsor, all right? About 6 months ago, we covered a story about Greg Fields that was a little shocking, to say the least, especially if you are unfamiliar with the esports side of things in the WCS community. Greg goes by the name Idra and was fired from his professional gaming team 6 months ago for shooting his mouth off. Here's just a little snippet of the interview that he went through after he got canned.
Well, let's talk about the events leading up to the announcement of your removal from EG. Starting back with something that happened in, I believe, late March. Jeff and Control Robinson, your former teammate and I believe close friend, was on his personal stream yesterday and was talking about the incident that occurred with Kapach, the Argentinian Protoss player, where you told him, quote, "I genuinely hope something bad happens to you. Like, you get cancer or something."
I genuinely hope that something bad happens to you, like, oh, I don't know, you get cancer. What the crap? You know? What is wrong? What is wrong with people? So, here's what happens, okay? He gets canned, all right, from Evil Geniuses. And you know what? Here's his rebuttal. I have to play this. Here was his answer to this question.
Can you kind of flesh out this incident and talk about what happened as a result?
I think we were playing 4 or 5 ladder games. It was streamed, so people saw, but I don't remember exactly what happened. We were playing 4 or 5 games, and he just kept doing the same dumb all-ins, or, well, different dumb all-ins, but he is well known as just like a very cheesy player. He's willing to take any risk, and just the kind of player that's very, very frustrating for anyone to play against. And I was kind of sick of it. I've been losing to it. I was kind of sick of it, so I said that, and like, obviously that's not something you say to anyone. That's a pretty terrible thing to say, but I tend to go with that when I get really annoyed. I try and go way, way overboard,
he
so
was annoyed.
that no one will actually like believe I actually mean it. But I probably need to rethink that approach because it doesn't seem to be working. People tend to take it seriously anyway. So yeah, I was just pissed off at him. I wanted to say something mean. It's kind of what I do. I don't want anyone to be sodomized with a tire iron. I don't actually want him to get cancer.
Excuse me? I don't want anyone to get sodomized with a tire iron, and I don't really want someone to get cancer. That's the kind of stuff that this guy says. This is what I'm getting at, is the fact that this is my question. Numbers are important. Okay, I get numbers, but apparently they have overruled common decency. The guy has a ton of fans, followers, everything like that. But what kind of trash says this kind of stuff, and a professional company like Thermal Take says, you know what, we don't care that you're a douche canoe, we only care about your numbers. Come on board, because I mean, at the end of the day, you cannot change a person cannot change their ways, but they can change their tactics. Okay, and for anybody that thinks that this was an isolated incident, have a listen to this.
Well, let's talk about the next incident that happened, which really was not as big of a deal until the WCS match, and then, of course, when you were finally removed, at least in the public. This is, of course, the forum statement that happened on Team Liquid, where you were, quote, saying, or where you can be found right here, saying, nope, you're all just a bunch of fucks. It just so happens I get to get paid to treat you like it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
It got real.
It did.
Wow.
It did. It did. And so ultimately, you know what? Here's the thing. And I see that the chat rooms bring up a lot of points and everything. They say the Dirt Nap Dragon says, I mean, this happens in every game from console to PC. I get it, but this guy's getting professionally paid, and he's a douche.
Yeah.
You don't.
It's like those women who get paid to like spit in guys' mouths. Pretty much.
It's just like that. I
could have said it better myself.
Wow.
No, I think the person in chat had a good point. Like, you see this kind of language pretty much every time you play a video game nowadays, right? Like, it's nothing extreme for gamers, but when you become a professional gamer, I think your standard should increase
exactly
a bit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is it's like literally. I don't know. The sad thing is it seems to me that numbers are more cared about than, like I said, than common decency. And it's like, what? You know what? We're gonna. You know what? Hey, where's the guy that said this?
I don't want anyone to be sodomized with a tire iron. I don't actually want him to get cancer.
Let's sign him. Bring him back over here to our team. Let's get him back on board. I'm sure he's got some wicked numbers. I don't care. It's why I consider it internet bullying to a point. And
you would think these people get paid to professionally play video games. Is that not like the ideal job for so many of us like nerdy peeps out there? And you're going to say this and act this way over something that should be fun, a fun career.
Now, let me play Douche Canoe for a second, okay?
Sounds like a fun game.
I agree. Mobile game, maybe. Now, he has a point, actually. He says he gets paid to treat people like this and kind of say these comments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to a point, he's actually correct, because what we're actually covering this just in general, and he gets kind of recognition as well as the TT Esports. I mean, it's not really the greatest PR recognition, but you're still getting noticed and getting, I guess, the name out there.
Negative publicity is still publicity.
Mm-hmm.
To a point, I get it, but you're right. It's awful, but they kind of have a system, I guess.
It's like a shock factor thing.
I think so.
See, I don't think it's shock
the
factor.
Lady Gaga of gaming.
See, I talked to DJ Tyrant for a while, and he's in the chat room right now. He's like, you know what? He's a really nice guy and everything like that. And it's like, I mean, you know what? He's too much shoot from the hip for me. He may play like a professional, but he doesn't act like one. So it went down in my book. I was trying to look forward to, I'm trying to get a better feel for what's going on with the WCS and learning more about the community and stuff like that. When I read this, I was like, wait a minute. Isn't this the guy that, yeah. So anyways, that was my little rant. Thermal Take picked him up, and he's now being sponsored again. And he's on another team with some other people whose names I didn't recognize, but they were like they kind of fit right in. Like one of the names was like Big Butthole or something like that. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but anyways, so yeah.
I don't want anyone to be sodomized with a tire iron. I don't
Idra
actually want him
if
to
he
get
just
cancer.
Owned the fact that he was a jerk. So I feel like when he comes out and he's like, well, I didn't think people would actually take. I told him I wish they get cancer. Like, that's just a total cop out. Like, I mean, he has a track record of being a jerk over and over again. It's not like a few incidents that he had.
And that word genuinely, that was the descriptive word that really kind of sealed the deal. That I genuinely hope something bad happens to you, like you get cancer or something.
So what are you saying? Just like him embrace the role a little bit more and just become that rather than try to make excuses, maybe?
Yeah, you might as well.
I bet
You're
he's
gonna
awesome
go
at
big,
role-playing.
right?
It's good. It's a good point. I like it.
I bet he's awesome at role playing. So.
But he's awesome at old playing.
Old playing. Okay. Anyways, moving right along. Good job, Idra. Good for you, buddy. So very happy for you. And off. BlizzCon 2013. Okay, guys. Seriously, listen up. If you haven't listened to a word I've said through this whole thing, listen to this. The 2013 schedule of events has been released for BlizzCon. And it is awesome. I was talking with Hoda a little bit before the show started, and I've kind of gone in these ups and downs a little bit of like, I got BlizzCon tickets, and it was like, oh my god. And then it kind of drifted away a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to BlizzCon. Yeah, I'll be there. That'll be cool and everything. And then all this stuff is starting to come out, and they released the schedule, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to be there for this. So here's just a couple of things. And we have the entire schedule at blizzpro.com. I'm going to have the links in the show notes and everything. Here's some of the things that I will be attending that I can't wait to see. And if you're watching on the virtual ticket on DirecTV, I'm going to try and moon the camera. No, I'm kidding.
So you just get carried out in the other screen, too.
That's right. Oh, my God. Look at this panel. And they're carrying Twiz out the back. All right. But no, Section D. Section D is the main event. It's the main hall with the main stage and everything like that. And that seems to be where all the big general stuff is going on. There's A, B, C, and D. And I think it's B and C are more geared towards championship events. That's where the PCs and everything are going to be located, I'm pretty sure. They're having all the WCS tournament, all the WoW PvP arena stuff. I mean, everything that's all the championships are going on as well. And Section D with the main stage area seems to be where you get your big announcements from and stuff like that. So some of the things that I wanted to tell you guys about on Friday in Section D, 12:30 to 2 o'clock, World of Warcraft, What's Next?
What?
I'm there.
Yeah,
Is that
an hour and a half.
Code for, is that code for expansion announcement?
Oh, yeah.
I think so,
dude,
yeah.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. And you know what? If
that and future features and everything like that, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to be releasing Heroes of the Storm book. But no.
Dumb.
An hour and a half, World of Warcraft, What's Next? And you're going to be sitting down. I forgot to get, I didn't write out, but I'm sure you're going to have big names there. You're going to have Greg Street. You're going to have, I'm sure you're probably going to have like Tom Chilton, probably Ian Hazacostas, all sorts of big names there. Maybe. I'll have to double check. I didn't write them down, but these are the guys who are running World of Warcraft and pushing it onward. So I can't wait to see what they say. I was floored to hear Ghostcrawler on the show when he was on my show a little while ago. He was like, we're two expansions ahead of you guys. And I know I say that every episode, but I'm just like, what?
I know.
Yeah,
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
It goes against like all the speculation on the forums.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait. Also on Friday, 3:30 to 4:30, there is the Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls preview. Very cool. 4:45 to 5:45, there's the Heroes of the Storm preview. So we are going to come back with a whole bunch of information and speculation, and this is cool, and that's cool, and this is what we saw, and this is what it was like. For an hour of Heroes of the Storm preview. Right now we have a cartoon to look at, and that's all we have, but I can't wait. In Saturday, again, Section D, the main event area, 11:30 to 12:30, World of Warcraft raids, questing gameplay, and more. A look at upcoming raids, dungeons, etc. They're going to show you the upcoming dungeons for the next expansion and probably some of the artwork and some of the ideas behind it and everything like that. Very excited to see what I'm going to have to grind through. 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, World of Warcraft movie presentation. Hoda, this is the part where you lose the bet.
No.
We made a bet a few episodes ago, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll pull the sound clip at some point in time. But Hoda said there's no way they're going to show you or tell you anything about this movie, about the World of Warcraft movie. They may play the trailer that they played at What was that? Did they play that at? Was it Dragon Con or
San Diego Comic-Con?
Comic-Con? That's what it was. They may show that same thing that they played there, but they're not going to do anything else. And from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, Hoda, are they just going to show that same thing over and over again and sit tight-lipped?
So you're going to talk about the 2-minute clip or the 30-second clip, however long it was.
Yeah.
All right, we're 50-50, Twiz. You got that. I got Heroes of the Storm. We're okay.
We're not okay because this is where you bet that you were going to shave and do the handlebars. You were going to do the handlebars if you lost. And if I lost, I forget what it was that I had to do. But anyways, I knew I wasn't going to lose, so I didn't really have to bother.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Well done.
From 3:15 to 4:15, there's the Diablo 3 Q&A, which is also known as the only place more dangerous than prison. So the Diablo 3 Q&A, 3:15 to 4:15. Boy, that's going to be a very tense room. Scattered throughout the entire day again will also be the WCS Championships, Arena, Hearthstone tournaments, and much, much more. So I am very excited about the schedule of events. I'm serious. When you get a chance, go to blizzpro.com, look at this article, and when you highlight over the event, it gives you a description of the event, who's going to be there, the time, the location, everything. Like, you get to read about what's happening at this event. I mean, it's all the information's there, kids. So
I'm curious, Archon, are you going to be at the stations the whole time playing Diablo and Hearthstone? Or are you going to go to any panels?
It's going to be hard. I think there's a decent chance that they'll announce PvP. They haven't said anything about PvP Reaper of Souls yet, but I feel like maybe they're just hiding it as like a secret weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And if they announce that, then I think I'm going to be spending a lot of time playing PvP if they have a demo of it.
Just kicking kids off the computers. Just run around.
I gotta brush up on my skills before anyone else gets access to it.
Yes.
Oh man. Wow, the chat room's lighting up. I did see a question in there about Colin Farrell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kaepernick?
He got offered a role to be in it, but nothing was confirmed. Oz Hearthstone, no, I did not just call you a child, and there was something else that I missed in here. Anyways, whatever. Somebody even said P Rocks. That was crazy. That's like forever ago. Whatever.
Are you having flashbacks?
I am. Something's crazy. Something's not right. I brought up the chat room for a reason. Somebody was saying something, but I forget what it was. But it was very relevant to what we were talking about. Now I lost it. So, anyways, moving right along. Let's see here. Speaking of Diablo 3, the Reaper of Souls, it has been confirmed for PS4 and playable at BlizzCon on the PS4 and the PC. I didn't stutter. BlizzCon will be hosting over 300 stations where you can play a demo of the upcoming D3 expansion Reaper of Souls, but not only that, they will have the PlayStation 4 version available as well. They said, and I quote, "In our action-packed single-player and same-screen co-op demos, players will get to explore the haunted streets of Westmarch as one of our 5 original classes or test their mettle as the unyielding Crusader. Attendees will be some of the first in the world to take on death itself using a DualShock 4 controller featuring touchpad technology designed to help keep heroes outgame menus and focused on what they do best, killing monsters."
That's so cool.
Say what?
I know, right?
At least we would know where you'd be the whole time, Archon.
That blew me away that they're going to have it on PS4. And not just Diablo 3 on PS4, but Reaper of Souls on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty crazy. So I wonder, does that imply that when Diablo 3 releases for PS4, it's just already going to contain Reaper of Souls? I mean, it definitely sounds that way if they're already going to have demos of it, right?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, we're going to find out sooner than later, but dang.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I can predict that a lot of the people who bought the PS3 and Xbox 360 version are going to be pretty upset if the people who get the new version automatically get Reaper of Souls, or even get it sooner than they do. But there's no way to please everyone, I suppose.
Yeah. And the last thing we want to do is upset the Diablo 3 community.
Too late for that.
They are generally happy folk to begin with. So So, anyways, I can't wait to play it. I can't wait to see it. It's very cool to that they'll have it on the PlayStation and the PC. Over 300 computers, which, I mean, I'm thinking, oh my God, 300 computers. Yeah, well, there's 25,000 tickets for BlizzCon. So what does that tell you? Get ready to stand in line to sit down at a computer. And by the way, bring your disinfectant wipes. So
That's great. You said 25,000?
Yeah, isn't that right? 25,000 tickets sold for BlizzCon?
I was wondering the other day. That's huge, though. That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure. Don't
a lot
quote
of
me on
people
it.
to fight Archon for a computer.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess let's start working out.
Oh, God. Me and Hodel go in there and bust some heads.
We're scrappy. We're scrappy.
That's right. It's true. It's true. I bite. So, anyways, all right, let's talk about a little bit of this.
Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft.
So, speaking of BlizzCon, if you look at some of the live streamers on Twitch, Blizzard has selected 8 of the top streamers to go head-to-head in their first ever official Hearthstone tournament. Every one of the players is allowed to build 3 decks, and it's a best of 5. Once the deck loses, it's out and you can't use it again. Pretty intense of a thing to throw out there since the game is still in beta, personally. I also find it funny that they dance around the esports topic a little bit and then do something like this. I mean, just come out and say it. Get people excited. Yeah, we're pushing for this for esports. We want to make this happen. The game's in beta right now, and they're like, oh, hey, we're going to have a tournament. Which, you know what? Everybody that's listening to this, that's watching the stream, I mean, guys, look at this stuff. This game is going to be out in no time. I would not be surprised to see open beta long before BlizzCon, and the game launched shortly after. I mean, seriously, they're putting together tournaments like this. They know what it's capable of. They're putting the final stress test, touches on everything. Hang in there, everybody. You will get your chance to play Hearthstone, I promise you. But this tournament, I think that it's very, very, it's very cool to do this, and especially for a game that's in its infancy stage like this, and people are so psyched up about this.
It's gonna just pump up the fever on it.
Yeah.
Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft. That was so good. Dying
wow.
This entire time just to say that. But no, for real, I think just having this arena at BlizzCon is really just gonna get the energy up about it. And I mean, people are already excited for it. And once they see like people going head to head and like the actual competitors, they're gonna be like, oh hell yeah, I'm going home and I am just raffle stomping everyone in arena.
I kind of think that they had to do this though, as well, because they're gonna release it soon, and next year everybody's gonna expect a tournament of some type. But if they do it this year and they only select a handful of people, it's like, oh, well, this is a nice little surprise, So it totally makes sense that they're doing it this year.
Yeah.
Archon's gonna be in it too. That's a lie.
He's like, so how much gold would it take to buy you out and win this match?
Dude, if you can get in there, I will be your water boy.
Oh, thanks.
I will be your Hearthstone water boy. I'll be like I'll mop up the floor around your table there and everything.
The sweat.
The sweat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tears.
Do you like the doctor dab on his forehead?
I would.
Yeah, as long as you talk like Adam Sandler in The Waterboy, then.
Oh, mop, all day long. Okay.
No. I'm thinking Archon. Archon, you need like the little speaker buzzer thing, like Cartman from that one South Park episode. It was like,
oh yeah,
Quiz!
Hot pockets. God. All right, moving.
You just better be ready when I have to go to the bathroom, Twiz.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, speaking, our last Hearthstone article that I want to talk about, guys, was the Hearthstone Beta Key Mega Giveaway. All right, BlizzPro was furnished earlier this week with 300 Hearthstone Beta Keys to be given away. This was labeled. It was labeled by the community as, quote, the best giveaway of all so far. It's unfortunately almost over, but here's how the contest worked and why it pays to follow sites like BlizzPro and stuff like that. There was you could follow various Twitter accounts or YouTube accounts or Facebook pages. There was another one where all you had to do was tell us what your favorite card was. The one that I thought was pretty outstanding, though, was the being a good human being category. Seriously, there were 50 keys set aside for people who were good human beings, either on Facebook, forums, Twitter, in my chat room, wherever. People who were just genuinely excited about playing the game. And I personally got a ton of responses and reasons why people wanted beta keys. I have to say some of them were quite creative. Of course, I don't believe a single one of them.
Twiz, I'd be willing to bet Angry Orc could fire off a top 10 list for this topic. That would be pretty epic.
Right you are, Reb. Ladies and gentlemen, direct from @AngryOrc1 on Twitter, I give you this week's top 10 list. Before we get into this, though, I want you all to know that most of these are real. Off we go. The top 10. Gosh, I lost my place. I'm going to start. The top 10 guilt trips people have given us to try and get a beta key. Ringing in at number 10, my cat has seizures and it's therapeutic when he watches it, so please help, Little Whiskers.
Number 9, my grandma doesn't send me cards anymore, so this will fill the void. Don't let me down.
Number 8, I have 6 hours to live. If you send me a key right now, I can play for 5 hours before I die. Hurry, I'm fading fast.
Number 7, help. I'm being held against my will. My only way to escape is to beat my captors. At Hearthstone. I don't have a key. Please provide one, ASAP.
Number 6, the last guy who didn't give me a beta key woke up with a horse head in his bed. We don't want that now, do we?
Number 5, my wife is going to be coming out of hangnail surgery soon. I'd like to have a key for her in her recovery room.
Number 4, my random key generator is broken, so I'm going to need a real one this time. Send it when you get a chance.
Number 3, I need a beta key because StarCraft is for Koreans, Diablo 3 has terrible in-game, and Warcraft caters to the casuals. Oh yeah, did I mention I'm like the biggest Blizzard fan?
Number 2, my wife said if you don't give me a key, she's going to tie me up and do unspeakable things to me. Wait, on second thought, keep the key.
And the number 1 guilt trip people have used to try and get a beta key from us, I needs beta key for wife or no mustache ride is happening with for me. Send quickly and I am in dire need. Yes, this was a real one.
That sounds legit. Very nice. I think you should give that guy a key.
My name is Twiz.
My name is Dwendon.
My name is Rodimus.
Honey Buns.
Piercy.
Sosa.
Sucker.
Triumphy.
Zorander.
Punch Pop Fizz. Danger's Agony. Death Stance.
Use a Band-Aid.
I run an elemental shaman.
I'm a Tauren Druid.
Enhancement Shaman.
A Shadow Priest.
Play a Windwalker Monk.
Blood Death Knight.
Fury Warrior.
Feral Druid.
Holy Priest. Frost Mage.
Brewmaster Monk.
I play an Enhancement Shaman.
Elemental Shaman. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
I'm from Illinois.
I'm from Ontario, Canada.
Fort Myers, Florida.
I live in Ashland, Alabama.
Peru, Illinois.
From Portsmouth, Ohio.
Colorado.
From Dover, Delaware.
I live in Pembroke, Ontario, Canada.
San Diego, California.
From Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Tennessee. And I'm in Twisted Dynasty.
I'm in Twisted Empire.
Twisted Empire.
Twisted Empire.
Twisted Empire.
Twisted Dynasty.
I am in Twisted Kingdom.
The Twisted Empire.
And I am in Twisted Empire.
And I am in Twisted Empire.
And I am in Twisted Dynasty.
Twisted Empire.
I'm in Twisted Empire.
Twisted Dynasty.
I am the GM for Twisted Dynasty.
And I run the Twisted Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is no secret if you've been listening to this show that Twisted Empire is a big part of the gaming community. Over a year ago, there were 10 of us that said this is what we need to become, and here we are today. The Horde side of the community wears the Twisted Empire tag, the Twisted Kingdom tag, and the Alliance side displays Twisted Dynasty. Everyone who wears these tags knows that there is a 50-50 split between the game you play and the people that you play with. We don't look down on people for not being heroic progression raiders. We also don't look down on people who ask honest questions because they just don't know the answers. I owed it to myself to be surrounded by people who want to enjoy the game. And let's be honest, so do you. It's time to stop logging into game and feeling like you're droning around in circles all day, surrounded by people who don't care about you and don't know you. Twisted Empire, Twisted Kingdom, and Twisted Dynasty. All 3 guilds located on the Kultiris US server. Welcome home.
Been sitting here counting the mail at the home 20.
All right, this is the segment of the show where we reach out to our mailbox and retrieve the emails that you fine folks at home have sent into us to enjoy. You can share your thoughts and your feelings and everything like that. There is a little bit to catch up on here since we were gone for 2 weeks, but I assure you it is awesome stuff. So the very first one we got is we talked 2 weeks ago, about a lot of rating and our current rating situation and stuff like that. And we got a email from Liz, aka at Darrow21 on Twitter. So Reb, you want to take that?
Surely, Shirley.
Oh.
It's entitled. Sorry. I has giggles from top 10 list. I'm sorry. So this is entitled Current Rating. Hello, TwizReb, Archon, and Hoda. I was intrigued by your rating levels discussion. First, I think that having 3 levels of rating difficulty can be beneficial to the player community. Before Flex rating, it was raid or LFR rating. Now, there is a way for guilds to raid even if they cannot regularly have 25 people show up at the same time. Second, the benefits of 3 levels allows for faster gear up for new members to a guild or raid team. Third, different levels allow for better hands-on practice of mechanics. As for drawbacks, it mainly falls on the player attitudes. In an LFR, don't be an elitist jerk. LFR is not a timed heroic run for first kill. Stop yelling at everyone and trying to kick someone who is trying the fight for the first time. If you're so awesome, then why are you an LFR? Yeah, so just stop it. For the players whining on the forums and in other public venues, what's the big deal? Not everyone is cut out for normal or heroic mode raiding. If you're in a guild that cannot support a normal or heroic mode raid team, then find a guild that can and stop making others feel bad for being happy in Flex or LFR.
But, Reb, but, you know what? In their defense,
I don't want anyone to be sodomized with a tire iron. I don't actually want him to get cancer.
they don't mean what they're saying. Okay, I'm just letting you know.
They don't
He doesn't genuinely want them to get cancer.
No. Mm-mm. So, I'm sorry, continue.
Continuing. We are all part of the same gaming community. Why can't the hardcore gamer coexist with the casual gamer? The hardcore gamer will still get their world and server first achievements. They can still get their purple gear first, the special rare mounts, the epic titles, etc. What's wrong with the casual gamers getting those items months and months later? Look in the armory and everything is stamp dated. Everyone will know who got what first if they care to know. Why can't we all just get along? Thanks for an excellent show. Liz, also known as Galdrea. I hope you don't mind me saying that, Liz. Sorry. I totally agree. Yeah. What up, girl?
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, it's just, it sounds to me like she just wanted to get that off of her chest. You know,
Yeah.
She chimed right in, and that's, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's good to get emails like this because there are people that feel that way. They're just afraid to say it, or they think maybe I shouldn't be feeling this way or whatever. So I'm glad she wrote that in and was like, yeah, look, this is what up. Back up off me.
Yeah, well put.
Back up off my grill.
That's right.
No, I completely agree, Liz, because I think this has really filled that void. Because it's getting kind of confusing having all these different levels, and it's getting confusing having all these different item levels. But honestly, it filled a void where I used to be a hardcore heroic raider, and I'm no longer a part of a raiding team, and I'm not there every week to stay with a team. But when I go in LFR, I feel superior, and I feel like it's kind of a drag, and I'm like, this is what my rating has to come to. So having the flex rating, which is where, you know, I can feel like a real raider, but I can do it on my own time when I want to and when I don't want to, I mean, that's perfect. And Say it catered to the casuals. I don't care. What up? It's fun for me.
Holler.
Yeah, this is a great email because right at the beginning of the show we talked about the benefits of flex and how just a good nature it kind of brings out in people. You know, it brings a sense of the communication, the coordination as a regular raid team. Yes, it's not as difficult, but if you look back in like WoW's like timeline, maybe even BC raid. BC raids were kind of hard, but like some of the Wrath of the Lich King raids, like in 10-man, they were about as difficult as Flex is now. Because they in Cataclysm they up the skill of normal and heroic. So this is kind of a perfect void, exactly what you said, to fill in that friends and family kind of guild. And I couldn't say anything better about it.
Wonderful.
Boom.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Arcal, where you at, dog? I has no you in my group.
I know. I need
purple
to get
mustaches or something.
Yeah. I don't know what that's about. But I do need to get in. I need to get with it. I'm not part of the cool kids.
It's okay. It's all right. You jumped into a WoW heavy podcast, man. But we have some D3 questions, which is awesome.
Yeah. We had next email here from Enzo0 entitled Console Questions. I'll read this one if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
It says, "Greetings, Twiz, Reb, and Archon. I have a question about D3 that I am hoping you can help me with. I've just begun playing Diablo 3 for console, and I am wondering about class balance. I've just started playing a Witch Doctor, which I hear absolutely no one talking about. I hear all about how wizards are overpowered, and demon hunters are super fun, and monks have awesome survivability. Are barbarians and Witch Doctors so underpowered that no one talks about them, or are there really viable endgame builds for these classes? Would love to hear some input on this. Keep up the great work. I enjoy listening to you guys every week." Okay, so barbarians are actually like the most efficient classes, at least on PC, and from what I hear, it's about the same on console.
I've heard a lot of things between PC and console are the same. Like it's verbatim almost.
Yeah, for the most part, it's the same. You can roll on console. The gear's a lot better on console. But the viable builds, from what I hear, is mostly the same. I haven't played a ton of console, so I apologize if I get anything wrong there. But I feel your pain, Enzo, mostly because I don't care for the Witch Doctor too much myself. So I'm probably not like the perfect spokesperson. The people who play Witch Doctors are going to hate me for saying this. I would say that the only class that's less efficient in farming than Witch Doctors would be the Demon Hunter. But the people who play Witch Doctor would say they're the best class, except for maybe the Barbarian. No one really argues that the Barbarian isn't the best class there. And but if you're having trouble with the Witch Doctor, the one popular build is the Fire Bats build, and you can substitute Acid Cloud or Zombie Bears. But basically, you're just going to get no attack speed, get a two-handed weapon like a Scorn, just get very slow attack speed, get 4-piece Dunamasses if you can. That way your mana's coming back up and it's not going down very fast. And then get some lifesteal on your weapon, and you're just going to get enough defense and a lifesteal that you can stand there casting Fire Bats or Zombie Bears or Acid Cloud.
You can do it in a circle.
Cloud of bats around you, and yeah, your life will come back up faster than it goes down. And if you get that build going and you're still not enjoying it, maybe Witch Doctor just isn't for you. But what I've found is Witch Doctors are most efficient in groups. They have buffs that can buff other people, and if you get like a critical mass wizard or barbarian to group enemies up, you can just stand there in Cloud of Bats while everyone else dies. But really, it should be about the class you enjoy the most, especially on console. I feel like console is so much more casual. You should just play around with all the classes and pick the one you enjoy the most. Because once Reaper of Souls comes out, they're probably gonna be a lot more balanced, anyways.
Sure. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I like the Witch Doctor. I play that primarily. I started one on PC, and that's my main on my PS3 right now. I like it. It's just all different play styles. So I don't know. I think he probably just tripped onto places where people just weren't talking about Witch Doctors and stuff like that. That's what I thought of when I first read the email. Was that
there definitely are a lot of guides out there for Witch Doctors, but they're probably not talked about as much as Barbarians and Wizards.
Okay. Cool. All right. Now, Enzo, thank you very much for writing that in, man. Really appreciate it. And if you got any other more questions or anything like that, let me know. If you're playing on the, let's see here. Did he say he was playing on PS3 or Xbox? or anything like
I
that?
don't think he mentioned which console.
I have a PS3, and if you ever want to roll together, man, I'll give you my PS3 name thing or whatever, and we can do that. Also, just to let you guys know in the not too distant future, because I saw the chat room kind of bouncing around a little bit about, I wanted to try it for this, blah, blah, blah. We will be able to furnish you a lucky winner at some point, very, very, very soon, with your choice of a PS3 or Xbox 360, version of Diablo 3. We had one donated.
It was like a PS3.
Yeah. We will give you a
Untimely
PS3.
break there.
Sorry. Yeah, that was a bad time. But no, we're gonna give one away on the show, furnished from Blizzard Entertainment. So very, very fortunate to have that, and excited to give to the community. So now, Reb, here's something that you need to be aware of. Several episodes ago, you had talked about a raid team that you were on with Joe Boo.
An arena team.
Or that's what it was, an arena team. And what was the name of that arena team?
Oh, it was We Don't Pull Out, to signify just we're going to head in there and we're not going to
We know what
give
that
up.
signifies.
Yep.
Well, I don't have to explain.
Joe Boo has sent a call in for us. So he you know what? He just wants to get some stuff clarified. So here's this.
Hey guys, it's Joe Boo. How's your bombing in? So Reb, now that you're engaged, kind of need to know if our arena team's over with now. We don't pull out. So, have you pulling out? Or we don't pull out? Just kind of need to know. Was it me? Because I can change. I can go elemental. I can heal. We could even bring in a third person if that would satisfy you. But if it is truly over, I guess we can say we always have Lionel. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your ass. I can see it in your smile. I can't do this anymore. Bye.
Only on Twizzcast, folks. Only on Twizzcast.
I can't breathe right now. I can't breathe.
I didn't understand a single word in that song.
I had no clue what he meant by "we'll always have Lionel." I was like, did we have an illegitimate child? What? And then he started singing, and I knew exactly what he was referring to. Oh my gosh!
Wow.
To clarify, Jobu, when you become an engaged lady, the arena scene is not where you find yourself, and yeah, it just comes that day where you stop making Warcraft and you make love instead. And
Can you catch us up on what Lionel is, or is that a you guys?
Lionel Richie.
Yes. Go ahead. Continue where you were. Don't let this phase you.
Make
Just
your love. Don't make this weird, guys. Don't make this weird.
I'm not looking at you. Quit looking at me.
Go with it. Just go with it.
Don't look me in the eyes. But just know that. Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
Oh boy. All right. Anyways, thanks Jobu for that. If you want to know more about Jobu, he's at JOBOU1, 2 O's and a U and a 1 in that order, with a J-O and a B before it. You know what I'm saying?
Very well said.
Thank you. So, anyways,
top 10.
And he is a proud officer in Twisted Empire. So, the last email that we got. Now, okay, guys, bear with me a little bit. It's a little bit lengthy. Okay, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. But it is it's very well written. The last episode that we had, episode 69. No, I'm not gonna do that. We were talking about the BlizzCon goodie bag And in there was a StarCraft 2 icon of somebody named Stitches. And I'm like, who's Stitches? What is this? You know, and I'm like, Hoda, who's Stitches? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, okay, Hoda, good game. So, anyways.
I'm sorry, okay?
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, Hoda.
Okay, well, let me tell you who Stitches is.
Don't know. I'm going to read this big, long-ass email. Okay.
All the information we need here.
Okay, this is very well written. Okay, so, who is Stitches? Mr. Twiz. I'm sorry, this is, I believe I think it's a he, it might be a she, I don't know, in the chat room, Oz, AAHZ of Hearthstone, writes in and says, Mr. Twiz, I'm writing you today to express my joy on your podcast. I stumbled across it by my interest in Hearthstone, and boy, am I glad that I did. I've had an iPhone for years, since the iPhone 2, but I've never listened to any podcasts until I found yours, and your show is great. I'm going to attempt to watch your show live, which I think is on Thursday. The main reason I'm writing, if telling you how much I love your show isn't enough, is because of the brief confusion you and your co-host seem to have about who is Stitches. Stitches was one of the most terrifying creatures that the Alliance had to deal with in the early days of WoW. So, let's grab Mr. Peabody and hit up the Wayback Machine. Okay, I think I just dated myself. You're an Alliance player, probably human, in the level range of 18 to 30. You've battled the thieves, thugs, kobolds, and gnolls in Elwyn Forest, and you've battled the epic Hogger. You've then battled the evil thieves, again, gnolls, and other creatures of Westfall. Then you moved on to the gnolls. Oh god, am I ever going to stop seeing gnolls? Orcs, dragons, buzzards, and all the creatures in Redridge. Then you enter Duskwood. All of a sudden, everything starts going dark. Oh my god, are those eyes staring at me in the bushes? You follow the path, and round the bend you see civilization. It's Darkshire. But, as you enter Darkshire, you quickly realize not everything is as civilized as you think. This town is haunted. Talking to a few residents, you are sent on several quests into graveyards, tombs, and cobweb-filled outlands of Duskwoods. Then you meet an old woman in the bottom floor of a house. She tells you a tale of a poor old helpless hermit that she helps from time to time. She asks you to bring something to him and see if you can help him. The big deal of this is, it is clear on the other side of Duskwood, near a graveyard called Raven Hill, and it is even more haunted than the east side of Duskwood, and far less civilized. You find the hermit in a rundown shack in the northeast side of the cemetery. He's very grateful for the package, but he needs more help. So, you help him with several odd, sometimes gruesome tasks. Some of the tasks take you from one end of Duskwood to the other. Also remember, this is prior to Burning Crusade, where you don't get a mount until level 40. So you are running clear across the zone and back again. After you fulfill several quests, when he tells you a story about this poor old embalmer who is married to this evil, very not nice witch-type woman, to pay homage to this poor embalmist, he wants you to dig up her corpse and steal her heart, which I'm assuming is all dried up and leathery. So you do, encountering the ghost of said witch along with the entourage, elite mobs. When you turn this in, the attitude of the hermit radically changes, although he just plays it off as you helping him. The final task he has you do is the oddest of them all. He asks you to deliver a letter to the mayor of Darkshire. So, you skip along the path to Darkshire, picking shriveled up cobweb-covered flowers along the way, and then go to Town Hall. You hand over the letter to the mayor. The mayor starts reading it. Suddenly his face turns white. His hands start shaking. He turns to you, and he says in a gasping voice, "What have you done?" Before you can contemplate that question, a shout is heard throughout the region, a deep, rattly, inhuman sound. The guards in Darkshire start yelling for help. Something is coming. An abomination. From Ravenhell, Stitches has been raised. A blob of stitched together parts from an uncountable number of humans to form a blob of inhuman undead flesh. And he is angry. I know. Boom. Oh, I need to have the boom, boom, boom on my soundboard. Mental note for next week. At this time, Stitches was a level 35 elite boss. He trudges down the road from Ravenhill to Darkshire. He's a good 5 levels higher than any NPC and is elite. Unless challenged by a good group of adventurers or a level 60, he will take it to Darkshire. And again, unless challenged by a group of adventurers or level 60, he will take out every NPC in Darkshire and does not despawn. You pretty much had to gather some higher levels to help clear him out for you, or wait for the server resets on Tuesday to go back to Darkshire. Blizzard let this stand in the game for quite a while. I'm sure they were getting a good laugh at the expense of all the newbies taking a flight path from Stormwind to Darkshire to get pwned by Stitches. Unless taken out, he will stick around until the Tuesday maintenance resets. This is how I started the game. This is the type of zone-wide events that were in the game prior to a massive number of complaints forced Blizzard's hand, and they started nerfing everything. I can't say that Stitches didn't deserve a nerf. The dude was way overpowered for where he was at, but they overcompensated. Post-Cataclysm, the quest line is a mere memory of what it used to be. You still get to battle Stitches as a lower-level instance-type encounter, but the entire quest line is half as long. You never have to go back and forth to Ravenhill to Darkshire to do it. Everything's right near Darkshire. It was a shame. Despite the trudging back and forth, and the original quest line was epic, not in rewards, but in storytelling and length, and I dearly miss it. So there it is, my version of the history of Stitches. So in conclusion, if you don't mind, please can I put a shameless plug for my Hearthstone blog, which, you know what, I normally wouldn't do this. I mean, I have no problems doing it, but I checked it out, and it's pretty legit. I'm going to have it. It's the Oz of Hearthstone, AAHZ of Hearthstone, and I believe he's in the chat room right now. He might be able to link it for you, but the link will be in the show notes. He created this blog for two main reasons. Hearthstone is a fun game. It is a simple kind of fun. It's an Angry Birds kind of fun. And it's, you know, like a Bejeweled kind of fun, all right? And he goes through and he just talks about on this blog, like, what you know, a daily record of this is what my experiences were. It's a blog. It's a web log, you know? I mean, he's talking about his experiences, his stats, wins, losses, and stuff like that. So I'm going to have this in the show notes, but please make sure that you guys check this out. He says, I will stop now. If you made it this far in the email, I thank you. And I thank you for reading my little story, and I thank you for Twizcast. It is truly awesome. Now, in the immortal words of Twiz, game safe, love one another, and everyone in the view of this email, take care. Oz. So, again, a little lengthy, but there you have it.
That was emotional.
It was.
All around a roller coaster of emotion.
It was. Yeah, I asked where what Stitches was. I had never heard it, but I never played Alliance either. I've always been Horde. I was Alliance for a little while in Cataclysm, and I didn't like it. I think it was the people
I see he
played
one
with.
up me, maybe.
What's
I
that?
get it.
Oh.
Brownie point.
Maybe missed the old days of WoW. I think he failed to mention that there also was only one graveyard in Duskwood back then. But I wasn't too upset when they added a second one.
Oh. News to me. News to me. So
Now, I really like this little immersive story because I actually know most of what he's talking about. So anybody from Vanilla will really appreciate this because they get how elites would actually just own FaZe. So
sure.
Awesome.
Good game. Good game.
Ooh.
So, well, I really appreciate you writing that in. That was a good story. And you know what? I never follow the storylines for any of this kind of stuff, so it was really good to hear something like that. It was a good story. So, everybody, the saddest part of my week has arrived, and it is when I say the following words. That's going to bring this episode to a close, and we appreciate everybody for joining us. Again, 1 year of WoW Game Time. I'm giving it out for free. Check out the front page of twizcast.com and get it in by October 31st, by Halloween. Also, quick shout out for our sponsors, doghousesystems.com. Use the coupon code TWIZ at checkout. You will double your RAM for free, all the way up to 32 gigs of RAM. You will double it for free. That's a $90 value. I just took $90 out of what you were going to pay them. I put it back in your pocket. And you know what you can do? You can go to SteelSeries and you can buy some peripherals. You can buy a mouse. You can buy a headset. You can buy a keyboard, a mouse pad, whatever it is that you need to take your gaming to the next level. Also, a big shout out to Open Raid. If you guys are doing flex raiding or you can't get on a team or anything, if you're not utilizing Open Raid, get in their flex raiding program. Get yourself some 540i level gear and have the fun that you should be having in this game. So, again, everything that you heard in this show can be found at twizcast.com, blizzpro.com. Let's see here. I'm going to let Archon go first. Is there anything you'd like to say before we get out of here, brother?
Oh, no, I feel so unprepared. No, that's it. I'm going to miss you guys for a week.
It's true. I will miss everybody till next week, too. How about you, Reb?
Sure. First, I would like to say that gaming will be whatever you want it to be, so make it beautiful and don't be a pee pants. Second off, I'd like to say that if you are interested, by all means, just try out Twisted Empire, Twisted Dynasty. Come check us out. If you have fun listening to us, we're only like a small little pizza pie slice of all the amazing that is part of the Twisted Nation. And then third off, in the words of Zen Style, honey, fairy dragons. Yeah. Fairy dragons.
Fairy dragon.
That's it.
All right, birthday boy, what do you got?
Woo! I don't know. Nothing. One quick shout out to everybody that texts me or Twittered me in the gaming community. You all are wonderful people. I appreciate all your kind words. It was really kind of humbling just to like get all that feedback. So you guys rock. I thank you for that. And gamers, walk with the Earth Mother, and remember, Hoda loves you. Yes, even you.
All right, so from everybody here at the Twizzcast crew, we encourage you to game safe, love one another.
A bit of the thunder from down under going, eh, gang?
Yes.
We're out. Take care, guys. Hey guys, you've been listening to Twizzcast, the official podcast of BlizzPro.com. You can follow us all on Twitter at Twizzcast, at TwizTE, at TankThatReb, and at Willie_Foss. The show notes and articles that we discuss can be found at BlizzPro.com. And if you'd like to drop us a line, send the email to podcast@BlizzPro.com. Thanks again, and we will catch you next week.